As Boston's housing market continues to boom, securing affordable housing has become all but impossible. And if you're lucky enough to find a low-cost option, many fail to meet even the simplest of safety measures.
The city of Boston. Nearly 700,000 people call it home, all housed by 160,000 apartment units and one of the most competitive housing markets in the country. In charge of keeping that housing market clean and safe
with the City of Boston Inspectional Services Department
is the city's Inspectional Services Department.
The landlord is not reacting, is hesitating, so they reach out to us.
But according to city records, hundreds of units remain neither clean nor safe.
We have a raggedy house.
This 85-year-old woman has lived in her Roxbury apartment for over 30 years. We're keeping her identity a secret because she fears her landlord may retaliate.
I'm trying to make it right for me.
Her building has the most violations in the entire city. It's so bad that one of her neighbors keeps a list on the wall of all the issues. Inspectional service records reveal mold, broken fire alarms, and even infestations.
Instead of getting exterminated, what you should do, so here's 4 or 5 cans of Raid and some stickies for the mousetrap.
Her son says that something needs to be done.
But if someone doesn't say anything, then who does? When does it all stop?
Before it's too late.
To them, it's not a violation until someone gets hurt.
Now this smoke detector is in the wrong place.
Those violations are documented by people like Iris Jones, one of the city's 28 rental inspectors. After 2 decades of working for the city, she says she's starting to see a change.
Maybe 60-40 landlords in compliance now compared to many years ago.
Although admits the city still deals with landlords bullying their tenants.
Intimidation still is a factor. So you still have some tenants that hesitate to contact the City of Boston.
An issue we took to the commissioner of the ISD, Buddy Christopher.
We do, have frequent visits to certain addresses.
He says that big changes have been made at ISD already, and he thinks that they're for the better.
The biggest overall thing here at ISD is we are now an agency that assists people. Years in the past in our history was more we were an agency about no. And that's not the case anymore.
Those changes came in 2013 after a fire left a Boston University student dead. She lived in an overcrowded apartment in Allston without an accessible fire escape. That prompted the city to require inspections at least every 5 years and crack down on landlords.
Is there more work to be done? Yes.
The city took Lorenzo Pitts Jr., the landlord with the worst offending building, to court. ISD data shows that he's racked up nearly 600 violations at his Roxbury complex. During a phone interview, he said he didn't know of any violations, but admitted they go to housing court a lot. As for other landlords, the NBC 10 investigators poured through 2 years' worth of inspections citywide. Dozens of buildings failing inspection after inspection for anything from rodents to mold to no smoke detectors. 2 Mattapan buildings racked up nearly 500 violations. Meanwhile, a pair of East Boston complexes reached 250 violations apiece. Rounding out the top 5 buildings with the most violations was a unit in Dorchester. And as the ISD works to hold these landlords accountable, tenants living in fear.
We want a roof over our head. That's it.
And hoping for a change.
We just need a few more Davids. If we get a multiple of Davids, and we could beat Goliath. So, I'm David.
And if you're having an issue with your landlord, housing experts tell us the best thing to do is to take photos of the issues and report them to the city. Matt Fortin, NBC 10 Boston.